first one between Charlotte and Duke. Cassidy Curd in the circle to start. Cassidy with the first throw, a strike. That's something that you look forward to, especially when you're a freshman.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The freshman standing at 5'7" out of Florida has been really good all year, but she's really good in these big moments, and this is the biggest.
Ashley Washington, the DP, will lead things off for Charlotte. Cassidy Krupit, Bailey Bouvenoy, Michaela Mitchell, Lexi Wagner, Ella Chansey, as well as Savannah Wynn for the first 7 slots for Charlotte. So good start so far for Cassidy, and one thing is just getting warmed up, understanding what each Charlotte player that is really good as far as home runs in the top 10 nationally and hit a school record with 74 home runs.
And just take a look at the numbers for the freshmen so far. 17-1, 1.55 ERA. But I look at the strikeouts, 139 strikeouts and only 112 innings. She's going to work in a high speed, a 68 to 70 mile per hour fastball with a lot of low rise.
And that one's fouled back. Ashley Washington, the junior out of Lauderhill, Florida, went to Fort Lauderdale High School, came into the tournament batting about 271.
Yeah, you know, the average doesn't jump off the paper at you, but you look at the on-base percentage, and it's not there, but 1.025 OPS in the Durham Regional, or in the Durham Regional, she's 1 for 2. She's had a really good OPS, which is slugging, plus her on-base percentage, so she's a perfect fit for the top of this order.
And had an RBI yesterday. So a full count for the first batter at bat for Charlotte. And the toughest thing is to make sure that you are in that circle but can take away that leadoff.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Ashley Washington does a really good job of drawing base on balls, drawing the free pass, and we see it here. She's really patient deep into counts.
Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Cassidy Curd. So 1 up, 1 down for Charlotte. We'll take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. Cassidy Krupit is on deck now. She had a pretty impressive day yesterday. And then you see Bailey Bouvenoy, Michaela Mitchell, Lexi Wagner. Corey Hoffler was very impressive yesterday as well. And takes the first strike. Yesterday, Corey Hoffler post-game said the biggest piece of just getting their first NCAA win was just taking it all in, the support, their journey, their legacy, looking in the stands and seeing all of the green and white.
That first pitch by Cassidy Curd was actually her off-speed, and we saw actually with the slab is she's developing that off-speed pitch, and that is going to be huge as she goes through the NCAA tournament. She throws with a lot of speed at 70 miles per hour, so the fact that she's developed something off-speed means that these hitters, especially a hitter like Cassidy Krupit, can't sell out for her fastball.
First team All-Conference USA. Charlotte coming in, and their first NCAA appearance. And he said, well, winning a piece of that regular season was important, and that was a part of the plan, but we're here and we plan on staying here as well.
Yeah, there was no hesitation. We asked them, you know, do you believe we can win this regional? And they said yes before we could even finish the question. And it it really starts with players like Cassidy Crupitt, the grad student, the transfer out of South Carolina. She's been in these big moments her entire career, coming from the SEC, and she said that's why she went to Charlotte. She went to Charlotte to put her name in the record books, to get them into the NCAA tournament, and not just be satisfied that they want to win this regional, they want to win a super regional.
Also her third trip, transfer from Baylor the year prior. Found some time at South Carolina, and then her home now at Charlotte. Swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 2 for Cassidy Curd.
Hot start from the freshman, working up and in against the best bat in this Charlotte lineup. A really good start if you're a Blue Devil fan. 2 strikeouts, 2 outs for the freshman.
Bailey Vanoy at the plate. And there's some smoke, a lot of heat coming from the circle for Duke today. Most career home runs, active D1 leaders look no further than Boo Vanoy. That's what her teammates call her, and she's been stellar from home plate.
Yeah, a little bit quiet yesterday. She kind of got herself out. I think she was probably geared up to hit the ball 250 feet and chased outside of the zone, but Bailey Bouvenoy for this team is going to be huge moving forward. She's such an important bat in the 3rd spot and will be a huge RBI contributor. There's the off speed again from Cassidy Curd. It's just going to be so big just to keep these hitters off balance, keep them guessing, because that off speed makes the fastball look even harder.
"14 home runs that Vanoy comes into this tournament with. Swing and a miss there. 2-2 count. Vanoy, as you mentioned, she's definitely a strong bat, but also first team All-Conference USA. Last year, she was a second-team All-American and second-time All-Region as well within the conference, so a lot of accolades down her resume. Cassidy Curd eating them up at the plate. Three up, 3 down. Cassidy Curd taking care of business in the circle. Take a look at the Duke starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. As the bunt for leadoff for Duke is going to be held back and called a foul ball.
The umpires, go ahead, actually. We'll talk about the starting lineup first.
Well, Deanna Jennings there at leadoff. Her 17-game hit streak came to an end yesterday when she was called out of the box. And these are your starters, brought to you by Capital One.
Yeah, Anna Gold with the home run yesterday to put her team in the lead in the bottom of the 6th. They go on to win the game against George Mason. And you might hear a little stir from the crowd there. So that was a bunt attempt by Deanna Jennings. The umpires were discussing if the ball hit her in the or out of the box. Looks like they will review that call.
And they just gave us the signal for that, so very interesting. Her leading off yesterday too was one of those things that they had to look at and the had to review.
So it hits her on the leg. Now her body looks like it's over or outside of the box. Her foot, that's a really tight call. It hits her there, so she's in the box when it hits her, so should be a dead ball. Now the question becomes her foot coming out of the box. Now she's not out if that happens. That would be a strike call, which it already would be if it's a foul ball, so that's not why Ashley Chastain would be reviewing this. She's reviewing this for the potential for her to be out of the box there, and if the ball hits her while she's out of the box, that is an out. It's an interesting play by Coach Chastain to get a review so early, only having 2 reviews. And here we are in the bottom of the first with the leadoff batter up for Duke. So they're hoping to get her out. And I do like the decision, because when Deanna Jennings gets on, the rest of this offense goes. So she bunts it here, bounces off the ground. Her right foot is still in the box. So it should be a foul ball. The umpires are taking a look at it now. Excuse me, actually, the NCAA has a center in Pittsburgh that they will take a look at it and then tell the umpires.
And you mentioned it, just with Deanna Jennings in that leadoff spot for Duke, one of the other freshman phenoms for Duke, another top 10 finalist for Freshman of the Year. She had a conversation with you just not about getting the Freshman of the Year for the ACC. Not phased.
Not phased at all. She has the so what mentality. And looks like we'll get a decision from our crew.
Home plate up, Jim Cooper, first base Alex Leap. And they'll call it a foul ball, and it's almost very similar to yesterday. The only reason that she was called out, it didn't hit her yesterday, but it was for the 3rd strike, which you were explaining.
Exactly right. And now Charlotte only has 1 challenge to work with for the rest of this game.
Now have the 0-2 count. Talked about the impressive day for Sam Gress in the circle. 6 innings pitched. Moved her record to 22-12.
The fans are already getting chippy here in Durham. We'll take a look at the side swing from Deanna Jennings. Looks like Charlotte won't appeal this one. I definitely would have. It looks like the bat breaks the plane of the plate.
And coming back, you already mentioned it. You can hear the fans in the stands.
And this is not something new for Deanna Jennings, is to have the opposing fans yell to the umpire that she's out of the box. So you'll actually see Deanna Jennings set up really far off the plate, more than the average hitter. It's because she works in towards the plate and she's trying to prevent that out of the box call.
This one's called fair, and she'll get the base hit. And the Duke faithful loving it. So now she's reached base.
Foot stays in the box there, and a perfect chop slap by Deanna Jennings. And she is fired up.
It took some work to get there, but finally Deanna Jennings is able to reach first base for the single. And now we have the grad senior in for stolen base attempt for Deanna Jennings. She gets it.
And Angel's speed does not slump. And that's one thing Deanna Jennings has. She's got speed, she's got wheels, makes it into second. A nice throw by Lexi Winters, but not enough to get the speedy freshman.
So Deja Davis at the plate, Duke's DP. And now Duke with a runner in scoring position. Davis batting .385. And she has a player in scoring position. So 2-1 count. Deja Davis coming into the tournament said, you know what, it's just refreshing that we don't have school and have to worry about the NCAA tournament. We can just play ball and also wake up in our own beds as well, as they are hosting their second consecutive regional. This one's popped up left side. Will be out of the way for a catch.
And this is a really good start if you're a Duke fan. They have scored 2 or fewer runs in only 6 games this season. In each of the last 3 games, they've only had 2 or fewer. So for the first 53 games of the year, they only do it 3 times, but in the last 3, they only score 2. So with an offense that averages 6 runs a game, this is the start you want.
This one pops straight past Sam Gress. She'll reach the base. Comes in, Deanna Jennings. She'll be able to tag. And now it's a hunt to first. And that means she'll be safe at first. Davis gets on the bag, and they get a score in for the RBI single.
And the veteran shows up. Pitch on the outer half. She just takes it with her up the middle. Deanna Jennings, enough speed to come around third to score. And it was a chase to first base because Cassidy Croupitt cut the ball off. They knew they had a play, but no one covers first. And in that case, for young softball fans out there, the second baseman should kind of come back around to cover first.
Another second base stolen attempt. She's going to be safe. So an aggressive start offensively for Duke.
Yeah, they are attacking on all sides of the ball. We talked to Coach Marissa Young about the steal. And there it is by Deja Davis, a ton of speed in the top of this lineup. And we talked about calling steals, and she said we haven't really needed to do it, but here they're showing it off.
Gotta think about how Anna Gold was able to get the run early in the game for Duke was because of the aggressive approach and just manufacturing the offense in that game. Azale Tapia, swing and a miss.
So like I mentioned, the first 53 games, they had 3 games with 2 or fewer runs. The last 3 games, they had 3 games with 2 or fewer runs. So the offense has sort of been in a slump that they're not used to, but it doesn't look like that's happening today.
Tapia with a very impressive at bat when she has players in scoring position, batting a .478.
Yeah, Tapia, she's a veteran. She knows what she's doing, and I talked to her before this regional. We had a chance to go visit all the team's practices, and I said, are you intentionally spoiling the pitches on the outer half? And she said, yeah, I'm trying to get a pitch over the middle of the plate and score some runs.
That one a bit high to bring it to the 2-2 count. You were talking about the sluggish offensive start in the last couple of games for Duke. Coach Young telling us post-game that she wants her team to adjust quicker to the pitching. And you're batting .209 in the last 3 games. This one goes short to second base and out at second. So 2 down. Impressive play by Hoffler to create that double play.
And Charlotte stifles the momentum. Azale Tapia hits a changeup right at Hoffler. Wynn comes over to cover, and they're doubled up. Charlotte 49ers are pumped, the dugout is pumped, and Corey Hoffler is pumped.
The last matchup between these 2 teams went into extra innings, 9 innings. Duke was able to escape Charlotte. Charlotte came in, remembered it, and said, we know that we can compete and need the win.
Difficult to beat.
Anna Gold gets one to shortstop, and Wynn makes the play. So 3 down for Charlotte. They only allow 1 across the plate. They'll be able to get up for their opportunity. After the break, Mitchell, Wagner, and Chansey do up. So just how much this means to both squads, but also the familiarity. Sometimes when you're in a NCAA tournament, you're sent out somewhere where you're seeing a team for the first time. Now you kind of understand, especially playing them in the same season, what to expect. Cassidy Curd in the circle had 3 up, 3 down last inning. And gets the strike to start the second. Duke had 5 strikeouts total against George Mason yesterday. Cassidy Curd already has 3. And she'll connect on that one. So Michaela Mitchell will get the free pass to first.
And that's exactly the start you want if you're Charlotte. Cassidy Curd, if she's had an Achilles heel, it has been the control. We talked to Coach Young about Cassidy Curd. She said she was the most green pitcher they had. There was a ton to work on when she entered campus in the fall, and that first thing, the #1 on the priority list, was command, and we see it, kind of rear its head there.
So Lexi Wagner at the plate now. Came in with a .206 batting average.
But I think the key for Cassidy Curd is going to be attacking the zone early. We see her do it there, but on average, she attacks the zone early. She has a 45% first pitch strike, which is about 25% or about 15% less than what she's aiming for. 60 to 70% first pitch strike is a really good spot to be, and so at 45, she's not satisfied with that. She wants to attack the zone early in counts.
This one popped up. Vega, who clears everybody out the way for the first out. So for Charlotte, this being their first NCAA appearance, a stellar performance for them all throughout this season, but the 75 home run shows how dominant they are at the plate.
Ashley Chastain has built a schedule that is really difficult. She wanted to challenge her team early. She knew they had talent. She knew this was the best team that they've had so far in her tenure. And so they're used to these sort of situations with a tough team, a tough environment.
Defeated 3 ranked opponents on the road this season for Charlotte. Stolen base attempt by Mitchell. Mitchell called out. That'll be the second out.
And that is massive by Kelly Torres. From her knees, a bullet to second base. Jada Baker with a tag. And wipes away the hit by pitch and the leadoff runner. What a throw by Kelly Torres. And we've talked about Cassidy Curd first pitch strikes. I mentioned the 45%. Well, today she's been 100%, 5 for 5 in the first pitch strikes, or excuse me, 6 first pitch strikes, 6 batters faced, and that is exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Marissa Young.
Chances swing and a miss, another strikeout for Cassidy Curd as this one comes to a close. Cassidy Curd now with 4 strikes. Experience in Athletes Unlimited and how it affords these players an extra opportunity to turn pro. So Amina Vega in the 5 spot for Duke steps up to the plate as their leadoff. Sends that one right to first, and will be an easy out for Crouppet. one of the 3 freshmen in the lineup for Duke. As now Claire Davidson steps to the plate. Two-way player hitting .336 coming in. And takes the first strike. A bit high. Davidson has a hit in 8 of the last 9 games. She was impressive yesterday. She had a double. So hopefully they can get her going. Davidson really patient at the plate.
Yeah, Davidson definitely, she's actually told me she got in trouble a little bit for watching strikes early in counts, but man, this kid is so good at hitting deep into counts as well.
3-1 count.
And in a hitter's count, 3-1 count like this, you're looking a spot, you're sitting a zone, whether it's outer half or inner half or a type of pitch. I'd imagine Claire Davidson is going to sit away.
Instead, she sends it. This one drops down to Hoffler. So second out. Duke in their 3rd straight NCAA appearance. Last year they lost to UCLA in the Super Regional. Marissa Young in her 6th season has been impressive, has started the program here, and in its young years in the program has already picked up a title in the ACC in 2021.
It's not often you describe the year as a rebuild year and also the most wins in school history, and that just speaks to Coach Marissa Young and her ability to bring the best out of her players.
You mentioned just her bringing the best out of players down the line. They will mention what she does. You have your own story being able to be under her tenure as well. This one sent deep to right field, and it's fair. How about that? The home run. Kelly Torres does it all.
Torres does it defensively, but she says, I can hit too. Takes this pitch on the outer half, up in the zone. Backside bomb, opposite field for the junior. The vocal leader on this team. She's there for her defense, but she says, Coach, put me in, I can hit.
Too bad a couple of the fans on the hill couldn't catch that one. Jada Baker is now at the plate. Jada Baker, such a strong arm. In the field, plays shortstop for Duke. Started all but one of the first 48 games for Duke. And another freshman. We've talked about the young talent on this roster. So 2 outs, no one on the bag after that impressive home run by Torres. Duke 4-11 with 2 outs in regional. This one's hit to first base once again. Croupitt is able to end this inning, but not before Torres was able to launch one. As that one is outside for Cassidy Curd, who now has 4 strikeouts on the day. Nice attendance at the stadium today.
Yeah, for the first couple years here at Duke, I gotta be honest, I think I could count how many people were here typically, but today I don't think I could count very easily. A lot of folks out to watch these 2 ball clubs play.
I know your mom was one of those that was able to drive down. She was one of the few. Hit for win, and she gets the double. Is held up at second, but completely smacked it to center field.
Yeah, what a swing by the freshman. Really balanced, gets her barrel to it, and drives it to right center field. I was about to say Savannah Wynn is in the lineup mostly for her defense, but she proves me wrong here. She says, I can do the offensive part too. Deanna Jennings with the dive, loses the shades, but a leadoff double for the Charlotte 49ers. And some momentum in the Charlotte dugout.
It's always nice seeing how they celebrate in the dugout. This is a team that loves to have fun. Led by their coach, Ashley Chastain, says, I love this group, tight-knit. As Lexi Winters is at the plate.
Yeah, showing bunt there. The difficult part about bunting off Cassidy Curd is she has so much natural movement up in the zone. And sometimes when you try to bunt off pitchers like that, you lead yourself to an easy pop-up out. I like the call here to try to move Wynn over and try to score at least 1 here in the 3rd. But she's just a really tough pitcher to bunt off of.
Winters gets the sac bunt, but is able to send Wynn over to 3rd.
Really nice job by Lexi Winters to give up herself and get Wynn over, bunts it to the right side. Giselle Tapia makes the play to Amina Vega, and now brings up the 9 spot, but we talked about it all weekend long. Corey Hoffler is not your typical 9-hole. She's been hot since the conference tournament. She had a really good day yesterday at the plate, and now Charlotte is knocking on the door and chipping away at this 2-run lead.
Charlotte yesterday was 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position against Campbell. As Kelly Torres just took a trip to the circle, have a conversation with Curd. Curd said, God bless Kelly Torres behind the plate. Her communication is the best, it's top tier. She said she never knows what type of pitch is coming at her. A lot of movement on her pitches, but Kelly Torres, the best at making it all work behind the plate. A lot like that, as that's the first strike.
Yeah, Torres actually has to catch not only Cassidy Curd, but 5 arms in the Duke bullpen with all who throw very different styles of pitching. She's done such a good job of receiving, blocking balls up.
Yeah, Jayla Wright, who we saw start in the circle yesterday, and Cassidy Curd are that 1-2 punch. That's popped up. So the sac bunt attempt there is actually the 2nd out. So Duke has 2 down.
Yeah, Charlotte tries the safety squeeze there. They show bunt. When it doesn't go off the pitch. And like we talked about, that natural movement up in the zone makes it really difficult to bunt. The difference between Corey Hoffler and Lexi Winters attempted it first, missed it, and then adjusted to get that bunt down. Hoffler was unable to do so.
Swing and a miss. as Washington is back at the plate and they're back at the top of their lineup. You like that approach for the squeeze bunt?
I don't know. I think Corey Hoffler has been too hot. I think you give her a chance to go deep into a count and maybe hit something into the outfield. Especially with less than 2 outs. And especially because Duke is really good defensively in the corners, especially Giselle Tapia, who is a veteran on this team, and Anna Gold has a ton of speed at third. So their bunt defense is really good. Their defense, like we've talked about this weekend, has been less than they would, want. They haven't been the best defensive team in the ACC. I think 8th best this year. So it's an interesting decision, and I think one that Charlotte will maybe workshop in the dugout in between innings. But Coach Marissa Young likely going to go out and talk to Cassidy Curd about Ashley Washington, telling her, hey, we are way ahead, 0-2. Do not give up something over the middle of the plate, or Ashley Washington will make you pay.
Absolutely, as Wynn is in scoring position as well on third base. One, two.
It's a really impressive take by Ashley Washington, the junior. That pitch just off the black at 70 miles per hour. It's really tough to hold up on those pitches, especially in an 0-2 count. And one thing about this Charlotte team, the first 3 batters in the first, they all strike out swinging. But do not expect that as the game goes on. They adjust incredibly well as the game progresses. Even the bottom half of this lineup, you can tell they're making quick adjustments on Cassidy Curd, and they've had more success, so I expect the same from the top of the lineup.
Ashley Chastain told us that it's high risk, high reward. They want her players at the plate to swing. Up top, 2-2 count.
There's the off speed by Cassidy Curd. She actually has a knuckle pop on that, so she's a knuckle changeup of some kind. I didn't hear the Charlotte dugout call for that, but that's something to potentially look at. If Charlotte can recognize that in her windup and they say sit or change, that'll give Charlotte the advantage moving forward. And if Cassidy Curd is unable to locate the off speed, Charlotte is a good enough team to adjust to the timing. They were late in the first inning. They look like they're more on time, and they looked like they're more on time in the second. Here in the third, they've had much more success. Savannah Wynn, particularly with a double to center. A game of adjustments.
Calls it safe. Cassidy Curd was all but in the dugout thinking that was a strike. So full count, 2 down already.
Take a look at this one. Side swing, that's tough. And it's a really subjective call for these umpires. Alex Leap said she did not go.
8th pitch at bat coming now. And that will be a free pass. So corners covered for Charlotte.
And that's why Ashley Washington is the leadoff. 0-2 count. She fights her way back. She spoils pitches, and she finds a way on base for this team. And she passes the bat to Cassidy Crupitt, who has been stellar all year long.
Batting over 383. First team All-Conference USA. Getting a little bit of a conversation there from Coach.
Yeah, Associate Head Coach Taylor Wyke handles the hitters and asking the players about her. They said she's intense, she prepares us. And in that moment, you can actually see in between pitches, the hitters will always typically look at Coach Wyke in the dugout, get some feedback, and she's likely telling Cassie Crupitt, fall back on your preparation. Do what you do. Don't try to rise to any occasion. Fall back on what you've learned and believe in yourself.
swing and a miss.
It'll be interesting to see what Charlotte does with the first and third situation. If they try to get Ashley Washington in motion to draw a throw and then score a win while Ashley Washington is in a rundown, the risk you pose is it's 2 outs. So if Duke gets the out before the run scores, they're out of the inning.
Two strikes. First pitch now. Strike now, 10 of 11.
Yeah, I think now might be a good time to put Ashley Washington in motion, seeing that Krupit is a little late on the fastball in an 0-2 count, so we'll see what happens.
Attempt by Washington, and she gets the steal at second.
Yeah, Vega comes across and cuts the ball off in hopes of Savannah Wynn coming off of third base. Yeah, that's a tight call, especially with Ashley Washington not sliding. She read the second baseman. I think they have a chance to get her, and Savannah Wynn wasn't very far off third base.
This has popped up. It will be sent over the net and into the fourth row of the families.
Yeah, on the steal here, Ashley Washington gets a good jump, but Savannah Wynn over at third base doesn't come far off. I do like the calls to cut the ball off if you're Duke. You put your money on Cassidy Curd. She struck out Krupit once. Krupit doesn't look on time here in this at bat. And she's in a pitcher's count at 1-2.
And she's batting .346 with runners in scoring position. She has 2. So this a big out for Cassidy Curd. She has one on second and third.
We'll see what this one goes on the outer half. That is a tough call, a tight pitch. Torres and Curd won it on the black. Krupit and home plate umpire said no, it's in the river.
Jim Cooper, the home plate umpire, thought differently. Barrel to right field. It's caught for the third out of the inning. And Cassidy Curd is able to walk away with this one with 2 in scoring position, but none crossing the plate.
Blue Devil Berm?
Blue Devil Firm, okay.
The Blue Devil Bank? I don't know.
I like the bank.
The fans are here. That's all that matters.
It's because it's like extra money out there. You know, extra fans? You don't like it? All right, I'll work harder. I mean, the sun was out earlier. Beautiful day for softball. Second day, we have 3 games on the slate. And people excited about being here. Sam Gress in the circle.
Lexi Winters behind the plate. I mean, is stealing strikes left and right. The way she receives the ball and frames it up for home plate umpire Jim Cooper. Such a tool for Sam Gress and the rest of the staff.
Cameron Jackson at the plate for Duke. She swings it, sends it to second base, and a nice out at first. So Hoffler making the stop. One down.
We're seeing Gress lock in the changeup a little bit more. We talked to her before this regional, and I said, what pitch is the most important to you? She said the changeup. And look at the numbers. Conference USA, 22 wins. That ranks first. Complete games, 20. That ranks first. Strikeouts, that ranks second. This kid is really stellar.
Another hit, that's going to be foul ball. Going back to Sam Gress. She retired the first 9 batters she faced yesterday. You mentioned her resume. She led the conference in wins and going down the line as the newcomer. The conference newcomer for Conference USA. Team leader in wins, ERA, and strikeouts.
Deanna Jennings, so many tools. You can see the defense. I mean, look at the clip. 451 batting average, 16 RBIs, 480 on-base percentage. When she goes, the rest of this offense really goes.
Jennings had the single in the first. As we're back at the top of the lineup for Duke. The freshman is also up for Freshman of the Year, alongside fellow freshman and teammate Cassidy Curd, batting over 400. Bunts it, gets to the bag, speedy feet gets Jennings with back-to-back. So back-to-back singles for Jennings. She now has a hit in 18 of the last 19 games.
I mean, that's the thing. If you come in, if you have Ella Chansey move in towards Jennings, she'll punch it out by you. But if you play back, she'll bunt it in front of you. And like we said earlier, speed does not slump. And this kid has speed. Keeps her foot in the box there and finds her way to first.
I think that's a great recognition too, because that was why she was at the plate so long in the first. That question with her foot out of the box. Actually, another thing we saw from her yesterday. Safe. So after the hit, there was a little bit of confusion from Hoffler on where she wanted to go. But that actually leads to 2 players on the bag for Duke.
So this is interesting because Corey Hoffler was charging that ball and actually looked like she tried to make contact with Deanna Jennings. Deja Davis gets one off the end of the bat. Jennings does such a good job of avoiding Corey Hoffler. If there is any contact there, it is a dead ball out and Deanna Jennings would return to first. Hoffler knew that, tries to kind of make contact, but with the speed of Deja Davis and the speed of the ball, Deja Davis makes it first.
So Giselle Tapia now at the plate. One in scoring position for Duke. That one was sent to the hot dog stand.
We'll see one more look at the end of this play. Hoffler just has a hard time getting the ball out of her glove with pace, and this goes back to the challenge in the first inning. I think if Charlotte has 2 challenges, they maybe think about challenging that call.
Lines it to third base, tries to get the double, and does. So that will do it for Duke, who had one in scoring position. But we'll have Ashley Chastain to talk about what she's seeing from her team, not just in the field, but behind the plate. We have that coming up after the break.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Good to see you, Coach. So Cassie Curd has kind of kept your offense at bay. What kind of adjustments do you all need to make to put some runs on the board?
Well, we've switched up our plan from our first round of at-bats. Coming in this last inning, we switched it up. So I like our at-bats. This last inning that we had, I thought we had a lot of momentum, and Cassidy Crouppet hit the ball really hard. It just didn't fall. So I like the plan that we switched up to. We just got to keep trusting it and keep getting runners on base.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks,
you. Coach.
Thanks.
So yesterday, post-game, she said, as far as the game plan in game 1, it's exactly everything they talked about in preparation for the game. She thought her team came out loose and confident, proud of her offense from top to bottom, still looking to get on the board in today's game, but have had a couple in running or scoring position to this point. Bouvenoy back at the plate, struck out the first. Had 14 home runs coming into the NCAA tournament. She set the school record for career high school home runs and set a single season record for home runs with 24. This one's fouled back.
And it looks like Charlotte has kind of changed the game plan now. It looks like they're attacking the outer half. You see it there with Bailey Vanoy with a 2-0 count. So she's picking a side. She picks the outer half, puts a good swing on it, a little bit late. But also back to the last half inning, Cassidy Krupa hit a ball arm side off Cassidy Curd deep to right field. So Charlotte is starting to put some things together. And boy, are they really disciplined at the plate. I mean, anywhere around the zone, it's these borderline pitches they don't even flinch at.
As now Vanoy has the hitter's count, 3-1. Lead off for Charlotte. And so that's going to be the second walk of the day for Cassidy Curd. Already has 4 strikeouts on the day, but that's not the way you want to start off an inning.
Definitely not. The free pass, especially with nobody on, nobody out. I mean, that's what coaches harp on all the time, but it's about next pitch. And talking to Cassidy Curd before this regional, she said that's her mindset. It's this pitch. I asked her, what's the most important one? She said the next one. And that mindset will be so critical here in this inning and here in this regional.
Vanoy showed that she was baiting the steal, sent back to first. Going back to Cassidy Curd, she said, I'm more excited than nervous. She's playing in her first NCAA tournament. And Kelly Torres will take a trip to the circle, just have a quick conversation as there's a 1-0 start. Mercy Young will also be a part of the meeting.
Lily Walker in the bullpen for Duke. She's been really good in late relief situations. Top of the 4th here, you start to get in that scenario. But a lot of times when Coach Mercy Young goes out to talk to Cassidy Curd, she says, look, I oftentimes give her a cue, and a lot of times it's her timing, it's her rhythm, it's slowing her down. She says Cassidy is at her best when she's pitching at 80%. We see the walk to, or balls to strikes, 20 balls, 33 strikes, 53 total pitches, and a lot of those balls have come in this last half inning and here early on in this one. So it's just a mental reset for Cassidy Curd and the rest of this Duke defense.
Talk about the adjustments for Charlotte as well. Won 7-2 yesterday against Campbell. Chose bunt, and everyone's held at first. Yesterday, Charlotte was 5 for 13 with runners on. Today, just 0 for 3. Kayla Mitchell back at the plate. First one she was walked. Excuse me, hit by pitch. Deep hit to right field. That's caught by Davidson and will hold Vanoy at first base.
Really nice cut by Michaela Mitchell. And right field is being heavily populated right now by the Charlotte 49ers, especially with these righties. Going opposite field with a lot of power, and it's 190 feet on the line. So this is a hitter's ballpark. We see Kelly Torres hit a home run early in this game. Cassidy Krupa and Michaela Mitchell very, very close to the solo shots and a 2-run shot of their own.
So 1 down.
So another issue with command is that Kelly Torres has to set up in the center of the plate, and you actually see that. It's a little bit too much glove movement on the inner and outer half, and that's because Curd will miss over on the opposite part of the plate. So command is not only balls and strikes, but it's how your catcher receives the ball. On the other side of things, you see Lexi Winters. She really camps out to one part of the plate. Kelly Torres doesn't have the luxury to do so because Cassidy Curd has so much movement on her 2-seam fastball.
And that's what Cassidy Curd was mentioning. She said she's labeled as effectively wild, but Kelly Torres gets things going behind the plate. Gets the strike there for the 2-1 count. Vanoy still on first. As Mitchell, the only out for Charlotte in this inning, she flied out to right field. So another hitter's count for Cassidy Curd. She takes a little bit of a reset there.
And for Curd here, she's just got to challenge. Challenge these Charlotte hitters. Let your defense work behind you. By giving up that free pass, you just hurt yourself. And I know Cassidy Curd knows that.
Another free pass. So now 2 on the bag for Charlotte. Leadoff is now on second in scoring position. This is the 3rd straight inning where Charlotte had their leadoff reach first base. And while they do have these players in scoring position and have some nice moves in the dugout, they haven't been able to bring them across the plate.
Yeah, they haven't had a chance to break through yet, but as we go to this part of the lineup, Savannah Wynn actually might have a pitching change here. Lily Walker will enter the game.
So we're still at the top of the 4th, and we seem to have a new pitcher for Duke. And it does indeed look like it's going to be Lily Walker after Charlotte with 2 on, 1 down. As Lily Walker sends her first pitch, that'll be a ball. Lily Walker, according to Marissa Young, said that's their unsung hero. Dealt with injury, the ACL injury, not playing as much, but just labeled her as a resilient person for this squad, the junior out of Enola, Oklahoma.
Yeah, being Lily Walker's teammate a couple years ago, I can tell you firsthand, no one works harder. Didn't get opportunities her freshman and sophomore year, and in this landscape of the transfer portal, she stuck around and she worked incredibly hard for these moments, for this moment right here, to step into the circle and hopefully for her lead her team to victory.
Ella Chansey at the plate with a 2-0 count. Now 3-0. A little bit of pressure for Lily Walker in the circle.
Yeah, she struggled a bit yesterday as well, and she was actually taken out of the game after a couple of walks. So we'll see how it plays out here, but a 3-0 count is not what you want coming into the game.
Especially with 2 on the bag, just 1 down. Gets the first strike there.
Sort of a delayed call by our home plate umpire, Jim Cooper. He's been really tight on the outer half, and we'll see if that plays into this at bat.
Waited on it to see if it would be a ball, everything but. We have a full count.
This is a really nasty changeup by Lily Walker. It's her bread and butter. Right down the middle. Chansey tries to sell it. I appreciate the gamesmanship too. If you watch a 3-ball count, you know, kind of move like you're going to first.
Kelly Torres, you could see through the mask, loved every bit of it. Pop up. Baker calls it and will hold everybody at first and second for the second one that's going down.
Lily Walker goes right back to the off-speed pitch. A nasty changeup. Gets Ella Chansey out on her front leg. And an infield fly. And now 2 outs. First and second. A huge moment in this game.
Charlotte just 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position in regional play. Vanoy is on second base as we have a pinch runner, or pinch hitter, Kaya Garrett at the plate. So Kaya Garrett, the junior out of Johns Creek, Georgia, batting over 300. And takes the first strike.
An interesting choice for Coach Ashley Chastain. Ty Garrett's been really good all year long, but Savannah Wynn hit a double earlier in this game, and it looked like she's been seeing the ball incredibly well, but that's why Coach Chastain gets paid the big bucks. She knows her team more than I know her team.
Gonna be fouled out left side. I don't know, I feel like you have a little bit of coaching in your future. I'd like you here in the booth with me, honestly, but I'm just saying.
You know, if there's any summer travel ball teams who need a coach, I would love to do it.
(0-2) count. One in scoring position for Charlotte. Wanting to bring a few across as we're at the top of the fourth. Swing and a miss. Retires another. So Lily Walker gets her first strikeout. As they close this one, we'll be able to talk with Coach Marissa Young after the break. As Young, and yesterday post-game, Coach, you said, I want my team to just be a little bit quicker with reading the pitcher. How do you feel that they've adjusted today?
I think we're playing a lot more of our game, move them, score them, having quality at-bats, and now we just need to make an adjustment with our timing. I feel like we're a little bit early right now, but we'll look to make that adjustment.
And Coach, you put Lily Walker in to get you out of the inning. Is there a chance we see Cassidy Curd later in this game?
You know, we'll continue to read the hitters and see how they're responding. Obviously, Cass is an option to come back to, and Jayla Wright is ready to go as well.
Coach, as always, thank you so much for your time and best of luck.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So Cassidy Curd in the dugout with her squad. As Sam Grass is still in the circle for Charlotte. She will be pitching at Anna Gold, who had all two of the runs yesterday for Duke. And that could have done a little bit of damage if that stayed in play.
Yeah, you see that a lot from Anna Gold, kind of wrapping around the foul balls. On the left side particularly, I asked her about that. I said, do you make an adjustment there? Or what are you thinking when you hit so many foul balls to the left side? She says, I don't know. I just kind of like to swing. And I love that she's so good and her mind is so simple.
Simplifies the game. Nothing simple there. She finds the pocket in between left and center field and gets the double.
With the rise of Anna Gold, stardom has been the rise of changeups served up to her. This one, she takes out a left center field, kills time with her legs, but gets her barrel out in front of her and leads off her team with a double here in the fourth.
The fifth extra base Duke has hit of the regional. And Anna Gold, good as gold.
And it was really an offensive struggle for this Duke team yesterday, but the highlights were Anna Gold and Amina Vega both hitting line shots up the middle. Gold obviously with a big bomb late in that game. But this is exactly who you want at the plate if you're Duke and you're trying to tack on a few more insurance runs.
Amina Vega, another freshman from DeBerry, Florida.
You can actually see Lexi Winters behind the plate, faking out Anna Gold at second. So Winters setting up in, going away. Anna Gold doesn't look like she's signaling to Amina Vega where the pitch is. But this Charlotte team does not want to show their hand at all.
The second at bat for Vega. Grounded out. Over the top of shortstop. There was nothing Wynn could do about that. She wants to bring a few over and does. So Gold able to cross the plate, gives Duke the 3-0 lead.
Vega so good hitting backside, 0-2 on the chalk. Finds finds a barrel into left center field. Michaela Mitchell moves a little bit to her left, and that's all Anna Gold needs to score. You can see Lexi Winters saying 2-2-2, but Vega reads it perfectly and advances to second. And she's fired up.
Amina Vega with the RBI double gives Duke the 3-0 lead.
And I love the call there for the drag bunt by Claire Davidson. A lot of times in the big moments, right after the defense can kind of get sleepy, she shows bunt there. Coach Marissa Young reads the defensive movement. And I imagine Claire's going to swing here.
Jill Poole says that's going to be safe there. Duke doing a much better job as far as just being aggressive at the plate, but also converting when they have runners in scoring position. Yesterday they were 0 for 5. Today they're at 500, 2 for 4. Another fly ball. This one is going to be sent to left field. That'll be the first one down.
Yeah, really massive out there for Sam Gress and this Charlotte team. Just to get one out there, especially with how hot Davidson has been hitting as of late. Now you work into the bottom of their lineup, but it doesn't get easier. Kelly Torres with a home run on the day steps up to the plate.
Take some time. Torres at the plate. The junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Already has a home run on the day, averaging .267 or batting at the plate. Takes a moment there, so she now has 7 home runs on the season.
Now in a 2-0 count, Torres really dangerous in this situation. She can pick a side, she can pick a pitch, she can sit change, whatever she feels like she'll have the most success with.
So Marissa Young, as she's out at third base, saying she's seeing a much more aggressive team at the plate. Wants them to work on their timing though, as this is a 2-1 count.
A really nice no call there by home plate umpire Jim Cooper. Lexi Winters is making his job really challenging because she makes every single pitch look competitive. She makes every single ball look like a strike. She's just done such a good job behind the plate in this regional.
Finds the hole, fields it, brings one in, and it's going to be safe at second, so gets the RBI, but also the double and a nice little shimmy at second.
Kelly Torres, have a day, takes this pitch over the heart of the plate, shoots it up the middle. Lexi Wagner makes a good throw to home, but not in time to get Vega. Kelly Torres, like Vega did previously, takes advantage of the extra 60 feet on the throw to home. And Duke is still knocking on the door.
So they bring another across the plate, taking their lead 4-0. One still in scoring position as Kelly Torres is at second base. We do have a pinch hitter with Kelsey Zampa coming in for Jada Baker.
Sarah Goddard out at second, a little bit of speed, and give Torres, the catcher, a little bit of break of her legs.
So we've said this throughout the game so far as we're at the bottom of the fourth. Duke has been able to convert with runners in scoring position. They have Goddard now, who is the pinch runner on second. Duke 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position as we have a meeting in the circle. A few things you think that they would be kind of talking about or discussing at this point?
I think it's just a breather, and I actually see Jody Davidson, assistant coach, going out into the bullpen. Coach Taylor White likely talking to her defense about who's up, their sprays, where they like to go tendency-wise. But Lena Elkins, I'm sure we will see her at some point in this game. If it gets out of hand, only down by 4, and Charlotte can score 4 in a blink of an eye.
Lena Elkins, another standout freshman for Charlotte. We've seen a few of those in this regional. Was on the Conference USA all-freshman team. Coming in has a 3-5 record.
Yeah, and Sam Gress hasn't pitched poorly at all. I mean, she hasn't been hurt by the walk or the hit by pitch. I credit Duke. They've made adjustments in game, pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat, and they've just put barrels on balls consistently.
And that'll be a strike. Sam Gress, her 60th pitch coming. You talked about it at the top of the game, just what Duke needed to do. Not defensively, we thought the adjustments were there, but offensively at the plate, only with the 2 runs, 14 total hits combined over the last 3 games. Now they have 8 hits today. Another hit, and that's going to be an error for Hoffler, so that just went over her hand. Not an error, but another one brought in to home plate. So 5-0 lead.
A really nice job by Kelsey Zampa to enter this game and just battle. Hits one hard into the ground off the outer half of the plate. And this is a really tough play for Corey Hoffler. A short out that just kicks up off the heel of her glove. Sarah Goddard enough speed to go around to score. We'll see what the scorekeepers choose. It looks like they choose a hit. I think that's the correct call. That was a really difficult, I wouldn't say that's a routine play for Corey Hoffler.
This one hit to left field. This one brought in by Mitchell. So that'll be 2 down.
And Duke up and down the lineup here is really starting to put some things together. And I think if you're Coach Ashley Chastain, you really have to start to think about the conversation of after this game, you know, how long can we work Sam Gress? And if we want to make it back to the regional final, we're going to need her. Of course, again, Charlotte can score 5 runs in a blink of an eye. I'm not counting them out, but just something they have to think about moving forward.
Another hit by Deanna Jennings. Will she beat it? No, she doesn't. So that'll be out number 3.
So they actually called Deanna Jennings out of the box. Coach Marissa Young has signaled to the umpires that they want to review. So what Alex Leap is asking Ashley Chastain is, does she want to take the result of the play or does she want to take the strike? Oh, actually, excuse me, they are calling the runner out for leaving early. So they're not calling Deanna Jennings out of the box. They are calling the runner out for leaving early from first base. Yep. So you have to wait until the ball is released. Clear as day there. Kelsey Zampa on a steal, leaves early. Alex Leap was on it. For the traditional penalty of the runner called out. Now how this will play into effect is if Deanna Jennings, the result of the play is Deanna Jennings is out. So I'd imagine Charlotte chose that option to get her out. Alex Leap here, our first base umpire on the right side, immediately calls Kelsey Zampa. This is a delayed dead ball out. Then he calls Deanna Jennings out. So we'll see when Duke returns to the dugout to bat. If Deanna Jennings is up, then Ashley Chastain and Charlotte have chosen to delay dead ball. The runner is out. I'd imagine they chose the results of the play. That way, Deanna Jennings, they don't have to worry about her in the bottom of the 5th. Another 3-0 count by Lily Walker, and just not the start you want at the bottom of the lineup here in the 8th spot. You just got to attack, get outs early because you know who is coming up. Ashley Washington, Cassidy Crupitt, and Bailey Benoit.
We have a couple of positions that were changed out coming in. And that's another foul ball and a walk. So Deja Davis is now at first. Giselle Tapia is now at second. Amina Vega at shortstop.
So Jada Baker is no longer at short, which kind of moves things around a bit. Deja Davis enters the infield, and Jada Baker has been dealing with an injury to her hand. I wonder if that's a factor in this decision. Right hand taped up. And I talked to her about that injury, and she said it's really not when I play defense, it's when I'm hitting. So we'll see the lineup when Duke comes up to bat. If Baker, who is in for Baker.
I think most importantly, though, for Charlotte in their offense, they've been doing a great job of getting their leadoff on base. The 4th inning, they've been allowed that to happen. A hit by Hoffler. Center field catch by Jennings for the first out.
Really big first out there. Corey Hoffler has put together some really nice at-bats over the last few weeks. And now they pass the bat to Ashley Washington, the top of this lineup.
Her 3rd at-bat, struck out the 1st, was walked the 3rd. Charlotte still looking for those first points of the game. Takes the first strike. Charlotte 0 for 7 with runners on, as Winters is on first base.
You know, Angel, there's a lot of game left, of course, but the top of the lineup in the later innings, we're in the 5th. This is the inning to do damage if they're gonna do it. Cassidy Crupitt on deck, who hit a shot to right her last time up, and Bailey Benoit, who's not gonna stay quiet for long with the bat.
So 1-2 count. Not a commotion in the stands as
really nasty pitch here by Lily Walker, but Ashley Washington able to hold up. She's so good with her back against the wall in these 0-2, 1-2 counts.
swings at that one, but that's gonna be called a foul. And Jim Cooper.
He's gonna check out this softball actually, because that ball hit off the very top of the bat, so we want to make sure there's no cuts in the softball.
Connects there. Strikeout number 2 for Lily Walker.
Ashley Washington typically has a really nice eye, but here Lily Walker just paints the inner half with a fastball to get strike 3.
Cassidy Crupitt back at the plate for Charlotte. Has yet to get on the bag, but a nice hit right past shortstop. Vega couldn't do much with that there, so just a nice find by Croupitt.
Yeah, Cassie Croupitt is not going to be quiet for long, and there you see it. It's a shot to right in her second at bat, but here just finds a barrel in the outer half. Stays connected, hits a shot into center field, and that's exactly what you need from this Charlotte team. It's not, there's no 5-run swing at this point in the game. It's just base hit after base hit.
So London Dirks is going to be the pinch runner. And she'll be at first base. Charlotte once again with a runner in scoring position. Winners at second as Bouvenoy sets up.
And this is a really big moment because Bouvenoy can hit a ball about 280 feet. I've seen it a few times, and she could get Charlotte right back into this game with one swing of the bat. So if I'm Lily Walker, I'm being very, very careful with Bailey Bouvenoy.
She was walked in the fourth, fouls that back. Pop up center field. Jennings waves everyone off, and that will be the third and final out of this inning. So we'll be heading to the top of the fifth. Duke taking care of business in the field.
Are you a new AT&T?
Now we have Deanna Jennings at the plate, and I know this was something that we were questioning as far as the last out for Duke. She grounds this one, third base, and it will be deemed safe as Chansey couldn't make the play.
Deanna Jennings just makes this look easy. And folks at home, slappers at home, they know it's not easy. Jennings, so much barrel control, just chops this one into the dirt. And as the day gets longer and longer in the afternoon, this dirt has gotten harder and harder. And number 10 uses it to her advantage.
Pop up by Deja Davis, and that's going to be too much to bring in for Chansey, as she was in the Duke dugout. So going back quickly to how we saw Deanna Jennings before this at bat.
Yeah, Chansey, like you said, enters the dugout.
Everyone's like, take cover. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah. But back to your point, Angel, about Deanna Jennings leading this inning off. So Charlotte actually took the dead ball out. Kelsey Zampa left the bag early. Alex Leap called it immediately. They took the dead ball out. They have the option of taking the result. I think they chose to not do that because Coach Marissa Young immediately called to review that play. So it could have been a safe call if they took the result of that play.
So Deanna Jennings, as you mentioned, who finds the bag again today. This is the 10th time this year with 3 or more hits. A hit towards left field. That's brought in. Beautiful catch by Mitchell. And that's going to send Jennings back to first.
What a play by the junior Michaela Mitchell. Deja Davis gets a really good piece of this one on backside. 190 down the line, but Michaela Mitchell over her shoulder makes a play. And if that one drops, I think Deanna Jennings has a chance to score. Deja Davis, a ton of speed, a chance for a double. A huge out for Charlotte.
This one grounded, sent to first, or sent to second for an opportunity to get Jennings out of scoring position. But it will keep Tapia at first.
Tapia taking the slow walk back to first base. The play is live until she comes back to first. Corey Hoffler, we didn't get this in the full picture. Corey Hoffler actually saw that and went to go to second. A lot of young players out there, especially on a fielder's choice to second, will vacate the bag. The runner is still live until they return to first. So potentially there, Giselle Tapia could have taken second. And for the travel ball teams out there, if anyone plays travel ball, you can do that all the time. No one expects it. Everyone vacates the bag. But the real story here is Anna Gold.
Anna Gold already. Had a home run yesterday, swing and a miss there. Batting over 300. First team all ACC. And leads this team in RBIs. 19 home runs on the season. So no doubt they want to see her chase a little bit, not sending anything over the plate.
Yeah, they're going to be really careful with her because she is the threat and to put this game really out of hand for Charlotte with one swing of the bat.
Grounds it. Crouppen is able to get the first, but doesn't get the out. So the double play is going to be made. That will end the 5th inning. Crouppen was able to get the out at first, sends it to Chansey, who had a foot on the bag and got the out. So nice heads-up play by Crouppen. So Charlotte right now needs to get on the board. Duke up 5-0. The aggressiveness in that situation, is that something that you liked?
I do. I think you credit Charlotte instead of saying Duke kind of pull the reins back.
Is grounded to shortstop and a nice out.
Wow, Amina Vega makes it look easy. She slides over to shortstop, reads the hops perfectly, and fires one over to first. Yeah, check this out. She decides to go for the long hop instead of the short hop. She trusts her arm and fires it over to Deja Davis to get the lead out of this inning, which is so crucial against this Charlotte team. And Cassie Curd and Deanna Jennings are the freshmen on this team that get a ton of notoriety. But Amina Vega is going to be a problem in the ACC for years to come. In my mind, she's a top 10 Freshman of the Year candidate as well. Such a good year for this Duke team on both sides of the ball.
Lily Walker gets the strike there, and for Duke, this is the second time that they were able to retire Charlotte's leadoff. Lexi Wagner at the plate, 198 batting average. Swing and a miss, and we can't say enough of the improvements, the laser sharp focus for Duke as well coming into this one, improving from some errors in the first game, improving at the plate, but also holding Charlotte to 0, being a powerful team at the plate. This is hit right over second base and finds some fair ground for the single.
Really, really nice adjustment by Lexi Wagner. Lily Walker goes right back to the drop on the outer half. Wagner adjusts, hits the ball to center field. But to your part, Angel, this is a different Duke team than they were yesterday. I feel like they're finally relaxed. They get the first one under their belt. And I think it really began with Cassidy Curd in the circle striking out the first 3. That really stunted any energy and momentum that Charlotte had coming into this game. And I think Duke fed off that offensively as well.
So that is ruled a foul ball. Very close at the bag, though.
get a really good look at this one. If it touches Deja's glove, and that looked like really close to chalk. But the problem is you can't review that because you don't know where to put the runners. If you let that play out, then you could potentially review it and overturn it, but foul ball is ruled.
Second strike. Lily Walker coming in. She's pitched now 2 innings as she leave Cassidy Curd, who got the start for Duke. Lily Walker saw some time yesterday as well. Saw 3 different pitchers for Duke yesterday. Marissa Young said, I'm fine with that. I wanted to keep the team off balance.
Really nice take by Ella Chansey. That's a really tough pitch to hold up on. But that changeup by Lily Walker really speeds up her fastball. She's not going to blow it by you. She doesn't throw 68, 70 miles per hour. She stays in the lower 60s, but with that changeup as a part of her repertoire, it really speeds up her fastball.
Nice hit, finds some space. As now there's 2 on the bag for Charlotte.
You can tell Charlotte's looking away, and they've had success. Lexi Wagner takes a pitch on the outer half, shoots it up the middle. Here it's Ella Chansey taking this pitch backside, finds a barrel to the right side of the field through the 3-4 hole. And I wonder if moving Giselle Tapia from first to second, moving Vega to short, you know, you got to wonder, could Amina Vega have made that play? Of course, if Jada Baker is hurt, you know, you don't even question it, but now Charlotte has something cooking. If they can tack on a couple here, they get themselves in a really good spot as they head into the 7th inning.
I think that is the point for Charlotte, how they get over the hump. They've had players in scoring position throughout this regional, though, haven't been able to convert. 2 for 15 in the regional, 0 for 5 today. So as they have a little bit of the discussion, maybe it is to reset and understand what they'll be seeing from Lily Walker in the circle.
And for Duke, you find it out somewhere. You're not necessarily trying to get the lead. You're not trying to throw anybody out at home. You're shooting the trail runner to prevent a rally for the Charlotte 49ers team.
Savannah Wynn at the plate for Charlotte. She had the double in the 3rd.
Yeah, Lily Walker's going to continue to work the outer half. This one kind of creeps over the chalk. Kelly Torres does a really nice job of framing it up. Home plate umpire Jim Cooper has been really tight on that side. But a little bit of leeway in the first pitch. Doesn't give the call there for Lily Walker and Kelly Torres, a little low in the zone. I think the umpires this weekend have done a really, really good job. Oftentimes when we talk about them, it's when they, maybe made a mistake. But this weekend,
maybe.
Kudos to the umpires.
This one is slapped to shortstop, so the play made at 3rd. So Vega with a nice play to sit it to 3rd for the 2nd out for Duke.
Really, really nice job by Amina Vega. Going to her right side, goes where the ball is taking her, a little flip to Anna Gold to get the lead runner. Vega's a professional, played on the Puerto Rican national team, was the highest recruit in Duke's history. Started off slow offensively. I mean, there were games early on this season, she was taken out mid-inning on the defensive side. She was making errors in the field, not putting together good at-bats, but here we see her shining when it matters most. The freshman's been fantastic.
Absolutely, just building on that. She was the youngest on the team as we have a pinch hitter, Madeline Wright, at the plate. the senior out of Fort Worth, Texas. And she has 2 on the bag.
Yeah, Madeline Wright came into the game yesterday, had a hit and an RBI. Oh, RBI double, there we go. That's our production team, so good. She's been really good in these moments all year long. The senior has a ton of pop in her bat. I really like this move by Coach Ashley Chastain.
They're hoping for that pop. Charlotte has stranded 6 runners today, so trying to get some across. Going back to Amina Vega, you mentioned her and being on that Puerto Rican national team, youngest player on the team, but most importantly, she is an athlete. Also was a level 4 gymnast, so maybe that's why she can go after and stretch probably better than anyone that we've seen out there.
So you can see Wright a little late on the fastball, and that's kind of the conundrum you deal with when you face Lily Walker. She throws about 8 miles per hour slower than Cassidy Kurd, so you get in the box as an offense and you think, okay, you know, wait for it. But the issue is Lily Walker has an off speed, so if you wait too much, you know, you get yourself in a little bit of a jam in between the off speed and the fastball. Against Lily in practice, my motto is always hit the hard stuff because her changeup is so nasty. And there's no difference in her arm speed. And we look at this, with runners in scoring position, 0 for 6, 6 left on base. And this is a huge moment to improve on those numbers.
Two count. 2 down already, 2 on the bag, 1 in scoring position for Charlotte, hoping to get some magic at the plate. I thought that was coming through the window for you.
I was hoping it was. The window is open.
I know, I just had to kill a bug near you. You were in mid-thought, and I was like, I'm gonna get the bug for her.
Thank you.
You're
the best
welcome.
Partner ever.
Safety
We need
first.
some bug spray in here.
Oh,
Look at this angle.
Right at the porch. And immediately the grounds team is like, we need that ball back.
Yeah, a couple announcements yesterday to the fans. You know, if you get a foul ball, love it, enjoy it, give it a kiss, but you have to give it back.
Get a selfie, get it for the gram, and it comes back to us. Thank you very much for coming. There he is.
But at the Women's College World Series, everyone go there because I think you can keep the foul balls at the Women's College World
Yeah,
Series.
nice. Make the trip to Oklahoma City. This one grounded to second base. Tapia able to send it over for Davis for the final out of the inning. So Lily Walker giving high fives across the board, liking her defense as they shut out once again.
Yeah, especially in February, I think of Northwestern out in Chicago. They probably can't wait to go to Clearwater.
It's circled on the calendar. Integrate alongside Rain Wilson here in the Durham Regional at the Duke Softball Stadium for day 2 of softball. Had some very impressive games yesterday that were not in this region. UCF winning over South Carolina. Grand Canyon got the upset against UCLA, as that's fouled back by Vega. And Razorbacks got the run rule. Kramer grand slam. 11-0 win. So Duke doing a much better job at the plate. As Vega, her previous at-bat, had the single RBI. Duke batting .500 today, Rain. 11 and 22 today. Coming in, we mentioned their woes at the plate. They were batting .209 in the last 3 games. Only 5 hits. Sitting at 5 hits just today.
And what's crazy is they've been doubled up twice. 2 double plays for Charlotte to really stunt any momentum in the first and the third inning. So, you know, they've scored 5, they're 11 hits, but they really, I think they could be better. And I think Coach Marissa Young maybe agrees with me.
19th game with double-digit hits this year. Here's another hit that's sit between the 3 and 4 spot for the single. Amina Vega having herself a day.
Yeah, Vega really does a great job of going backside, but she shows it there. She covers all parts of the plate. Elkin's going to try to work away, but it leaks over the middle. And Vega makes her pay by shooting it through the 3-4 hole and getting a leadoff runner on for Duke yet again here today.
And it doesn't get any easier for Elkins in the circle. Claire Davidson at the plate. Pop up, that's into win for an out. They sent it over to first base, but Vega was able to get back on the bag. All right, well, let's take a look at the game's Capital One rewarding performance, and no doubt who this is going to.
Absolutely, Kelly Torres does it with the bat with a solo shot to right field. And she's got a lot of energy on the team. 2 for 2, home run, 2 RBIs.
This one's popped up. Shallow right. And Vinoy able to bring that one in.
And Torres gets a ton of credit for those 2 hits, as she should, but she's done a great job behind the plate as well. Early in this game, throwing out a runner, but managing really well. Her teammates describe her as a ton of energy. She's sort of their vocal leader.
Cassidy Kurd said the communication is top tier.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss for Zampa.
So Zampa stays in for Baker, and Deja Davis, the DP, will enter to play first base. So I got to imagine Jada Baker is laboring a little bit with that injury.
So Zampa in that 8th hole. Cameron Jackson will follow if there is no out here. Elkin is 1 strike away. Now ties it 2-2 for the count. Lena Elkins has given up 3 hits, no runs, and trying to keep it that way. Just 1 out away from closing at the bottom of the 6th. Swing finds the glove of Chansey. Chansey sends it over to Croupitt for the 3rd out, and that will do it for the 6th. So Charlotte, one more time, an opportunity to see if they can even the score at the plate.
Capitalize on the opportunities they've had.
Corey Hoffler leading off as we start the top of the 7th. And takes the first strike. Charlotte has been shut out 6 times this season. They're trying to avoid a 7th. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2.
And for Charlotte here, of course you're trying to win this ball game, but there's a long road back to the regional final. Well, maybe not long, but they play later today if they happen to lose this game. So you're trying to see as many pitches as you can from Lily Walker.
Sent to Lily Walker, and she gets another out at first. So that will be the first out of the inning, taking away the leadoff for Charlotte. So back at the top of the lineup for Charlotte, Ashley Washington. The junior 0 for 2 today. Swing and a miss. Lily Walker has been solid in the circle.
Yeah, she's been really, really good. She's attacked early. She's really settled in as the innings have gone on. Makes these hitters miss quite often.
Lily Walker, already 2 strikeouts on the day. Just 2 outs away for Duke. Looking for their 14th shutout of the year. And finds a sweet spot there for strike number 2. Fouled right. So when it goes into the dugout of the team, do they get to keep the ball?
You know what? There were times as a player that I may or may not have stolen a couple. Borrowed for a really long time. In fact, until I'm 25 years old. Oh, wait, I'm actually 25 years old right now. So.
I saw your car. You had 4 rolling in the back.
You never know when you want to play catch, you know? Always have a couple softballs in the car. Jumper cables, too.
So Lily Walker looking for another strike to put down the second out.
And we've seen this all day long from Ashley Washington, just relentless at the plate. She gives pitchers hope. You know, she gets behind, she takes pitches, she's super patient. But somehow every at-bat, she just works deeper and deeper into counts. She's such a good leadoff for this Charlotte team.
Definitely makes the pitcher work for it. Right field, closer to the bullpen for Charlotte. It's been fun seeing Cassidy Kurd's dad in the stands as well, leading all the chants. So they didn't just get a standout freshman in the circle, they got the family too. Another one fouled out right. There he is, making sure that everybody is on the same page for the chants after the game. They're able to close this one out. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Lily Walker. And they can taste it. 1 out away from advancing to the regional championship game tomorrow.
And a really nasty pull of the string here by Lily Walker. Washington out on her front foot, tries to throw a barrel at it, but unable to do so. And Lily Walker gets a second out of this inning, and like you said, Angel, 1 out away for this Duke team.
Just inside, and this is a Duke team that played in an elimination game last year. And Coach Marissa Young said it's a lot better when you can just win.
Absolutely.
I think every coach would have that on the motto board, right?
Crouppet standing pretty far off the plate, more than I'd say the average player, trying to bait Duke into throwing her away. She's had a lot of success today on her backside. She's able to get her barrel out in front of her. I wonder if Duke's gonna try to go back in.
Fly ball right field. And Davidson in the right position. That brings us to
Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are